Before we begin, imagine a lone cowboy who swore he would never open his heart again, until the day his daughters brought home a beautiful Apache woman running from danger. A single decision changed their lives forever, pulling them into a battle between justice, loyalty, and forbidden destiny. What happened on that ranch would shock the entire frontier. So before we dive into this powerful story, make sure you subscribe, share this video, and leave a comment to support the channel. Now sit back, relax, and let's start this story. The wind rolled across the quiet plains as the evening sun bled into the horizon, casting long shadows across the old Benton ranch. Inside the weather-worn house, the lone cowboy named Cole Benton stood silently beside the window, rubbing his calloused hands together. Life had carved its lines into his face, but his eyes still held the steady warmth of a man who had survived too much to be easily shaken. He never expected much from life after losing his wife, never imagined surprises anymore, until the day his two daughters came riding home with a stranger. The girls had left that morning to gather herbs near the creek, and Cole hadn't worried. They knew the land better than most adults. But as they rode back at dusk, he noticed immediately that something was different. Between the horses, sitting lightly as if ready to flee any moment, was a young Apache woman. Her posture was proud, but her eyes told a different story: caution, exhaustion, and a quiet depth that struck Cole harder than he cared to admit. His daughters waved eagerly, calling out that they had found someone who needed help. When Cole stepped outside to greet them, the woman kept her gaze low but her shoulders tense, ready to defend herself if necessary. Cole sensed it instantly. This was not a woman accustomed to accepting charity. He asked for her name softly, careful not to scare her, and after a pause she answered in a calm voice layered with hidden strength, "Naya." It was a name that melted into the air like a whisper. Cole nodded slowly, stepping back to show he meant no harm, letting her choose her own distance. The girls rushed to explain that they had found her near the ridge, limping badly and clearly dehydrated. Naya didn't interrupt, but Cole noticed her jaw tighten with pride at every detail mentioned. She wasn't used to being rescued. She had survived in a world that rarely showed kindness to her people. Cole understood that better than most. He gave her a blanket, pointed toward the well, and told her she was welcome to rest if she wished. She hesitated for several seconds before accepting with a small nod. Inside the house, the glow of the lantern softened the stark reality of their rigid lives. Cole sat at the far end of the room while the girls brought water and food to their guest. Naya ate quietly, carefully, as if not wanting to reveal hunger. Cole respected her discipline, watching the way she kept her eyes lowered but her mind alert to every sound. She was a woman who had been shaped by hardship, independence, and a culture that valued strength of spirit. Cole found himself wondering what story lay behind her guarded silence. The night settled deeper, the ranch sinking into quiet, but Cole remained awake longer than usual. He wasn't sure why. Maybe it was the presence of another adult under his roof after so many lonely years. Maybe it was the way Naya moved, graceful, cautious, yet undeniably powerful. Or perhaps it was the realization that his daughters trusted her instantly, something they never did with strangers. They talked to her softly, even laughed a little, and Naya responded with gentle nods, her eyes softening in brief, unguarded moments. When Cole finally stepped outside for his nightly walk around the property, he saw Naya standing on the porch, wrapped in the blanket he had given her. She didn't turn to face him, but acknowledged him with a slight tilt of her head. He asked her if she was in pain from her injury. She answered briefly, saying she had walked too far for too long, driven by circumstances she didn't yet wish to explain. Cole didn't push. He simply nodded and said the ranch was safe, and she could stay as long as she needed. For the first time, she looked directly into his eyes. Her voice was calm when she finally spoke. She said she didn't plan to stay long, only until her strength returned, and she didn't want to trouble his family. Cole replied firmly but kindly that his daughters didn't bring home trouble, they brought home people worth saving. Naya's eyes softened again, but her guard didn't fully drop. She stepped back into the house silently, leaving Cole standing on the porch, feeling something shift deep inside him, something he hadn't felt in years. Later, when the lanterns were put out and everyone settled into their beds, Cole lay awake listening to the quiet breaths of the house. It wasn't unease that kept him awake, but a strange sense of anticipation. Something about Naya stirred questions he didn't have answers to. She was not simply a lost traveler. Her silence carried weight, Her strength hinted at danger, and her presence made the air inside his home feel different. Cole knew without understanding why that the arrival of this woman was going to change everything. As the moon rose high above the ranch, silvering the world below, Naya slipped outside again, unaware that Cole noticed. She stood near the corral, looking at the stars with a sorrow he could almost feel from a distance. And in that quiet moment, he understood. This was not a woman running from hunger or fatigue. This was a woman running from something far more dangerous, something that might already be coming for her. And Cole knew whatever she was hiding, whatever storm she carried, was about to collide with his life in ways he could never imagine. The next morning arrived with a stillness that felt heavier than usual. Cole stepped outside expecting only the familiar sounds of the ranch, but instead he found Naya already awake, tending to the horses with surprising gentleness. His daughters watched her from the porch, whispering to each other. Cole approached slowly, not wanting to startle her. Naya paused but didn't retreat. She explained quietly that caring for horses helped calm her thoughts. Cole nodded, sensing she was finally ready to share what she had been holding back. He waited, patient and grounded, knowing forcing her would only build more walls. When Naya finally spoke, her voice was low but steady. She told him she had belonged to a small Apache band caught in the path of soldiers who had been searching for a group of renegades. Her people had not been involved in any violence, yet the soldiers attacked without distinction. Naya barely escaped with her life. She had been wandering for days, avoiding patrols, and nursing an injured ankle while searching for somewhere safe. As she recounted the story, Cole felt a cold anger tighten in his chest, not at her people, but at the injustice too common in the frontier. Clara and Rose moved closer, their youthful compassion overflowing. They urged her to stay longer, insisting the ranch was big enough for all of them. Naya shook her head with calm resolve. She didn't want to endanger them. The soldiers would continue to search the region for any Apache survivor, and if they discovered her hiding on a white man's ranch, the consequences could be deadly. Cole knew she was right, yet something inside him rebelled at the idea of letting her walk away alone into a world determined to swallow her whole. Later that day, as Cole repaired the barn siding, he noticed a column of dust rising far in the distance, a small group of riders approaching. His instincts sharpened. He called Naya and the girls inside. Through his binoculars, he recognized the uniforms, 4 soldiers riding hard. Naya stiffened with fear, her hand gripping the edge of the table. Cole made a quick decision. He told Naya to hide in the storm cellar beneath the floorboards. She resisted at first, refusing to put them in danger, but Cole's voice grew firm. He wasn't asking, he was protecting someone who deserved protection. The soldiers arrived minutes later, dust-covered and already suspicious. Their leader, a hard-eyed sergeant, demanded to know if Cole had seen an Apache woman traveling alone. Cole stood tall, arms crossed, gaze unwavering, and told them he had seen nothing unusual. Clara and Rose played their part flawlessly, acting confused and annoyed at the intrusion. The soldiers searched the barn, the shed, and the corral, but Cole refused to let them near the house. His calm voice carried a warning sharper than steel. After a tense standoff, the soldiers finally rode off, unsatisfied but unwilling to press further. Once they were gone, Cole lifted the cellar door. Naya climbed out slowly, trembling not from fear but from the overwhelming burden of being hunted. Her eyes met his, full of gratitude and guilt. She whispered that she could not keep endangering them. Cole shook his head. Danger or not, he would not allow innocent blood to be spilled on his land for doing what was right. For the first time, Naya's expression softened completely, a hidden tenderness shining through the walls she'd built. That night, under the lantern's warm glow, Cole and Naya shared a quiet conversation while the girls slept. She told him more about her people, her family, her dreams, fragments of a life ripped away. Cole shared his own story of loss, the loneliness that haunted him even in a house full of love. Something unspoken began to grow between them, a connection both fragile and powerful. Cole realized he no longer saw Naya as a stranger, but as someone whose presence brought warmth to every corner of his home. Days passed, then a week. Naya's ankle healed, and she grew more comfortable, moving freely around the ranch, helping with chores, laughing with the girls, earning all their trust. But danger lingered beyond the hills. Signs of soldier patrols increased. Cole sensed they would return more determined than before. He prepared quietly, stocking food, repairing weapons, planning escape routes. He told Naya she could stay as long as she chose, and no one would force her away. She listened in silence, her eyes revealing a war between her heart and her sense of responsibility. One evening, as the sun dipped low, Naya approached Cole near the corral. She stood close enough for him to feel her breath. She told him she didn't want to leave, not because she needed safety, but because she had found something she never expected again, a place where she was seen as human, worthy, valued. Cole felt something shift inside him, a gentle but undeniable pull. He told her that since the day she arrived, the ranch hadn't felt empty anymore. Their connection deepened in the quiet space between them. The danger arrived sooner than expected. Before dawn the next morning, horses thundered near the property. This time, more soldiers, ruthless, loud, certain of their quarry. Cole ordered the girls into the cellar and handed Naya one of his rifles. She hesitated but took it, understanding that running was no longer an option. The soldiers demanded she be turned over, threatening to burn the ranch if Cole refused. Cole stepped forward boldly, telling them no one under his roof would ever be surrendered to unjust hands. The sergeant drew his gun, and chaos erupted. Cole and Naya fought with desperate precision, defending the ranch with every ounce of courage. Clara and Rose emerged from hiding at the perfect moment, distracting the soldiers long enough for Cole to disarm the sergeant. The fight ended with the soldiers fleeing, humiliated and wounded. Cole stood breathless, heart pounding, as the girls embraced him fiercely. Naya approached, her eyes reflecting both relief and awe. She whispered that she had never known a man who would risk everything to protect someone like her. When the dust finally settled, Cole realized something undeniably clear. Naya was no longer a guest. She was family. He asked her to stay not out of obligation, but because his daughters loved her, and because he had discovered a rare, unexpected bond that went beyond gratitude. Naya accepted with quiet joy, and slowly, over the months that followed, the ranch transformed into a place of healing, unity, and unlikely love. In the end, the lone cowboy who thought his heart had died long ago discovered that destiny sometimes arrives in the unlikeliest of forms, on the back of a tired horse, in the eyes of a stranger, and in the courage to protect something fragile yet extraordinary. Cole Benton was no longer alone. His daughters had brought home a woman who changed their lives forever, and together they built a future stronger than the storms of the frontier.